Hey YouTube fans, it's me the Story Man, and welcome back to my latest video. Oh boy, it's really hot today. Yesterday it was just freezing, now it's hot. Weather, can you make up your mind already? Oh boy, it's hot. And I mean, oh wow. The heat's killing me. It's supposed to be the rainy season, but now it's hot again. Oh wow. But maybe this story might help you out. It'll cool you off. This story, which I made from Chat GPT, which I call the Cosmic Convertible. So remember fans, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comment down in the comment section below. Oh boy. Remember, the story may be made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were done by a real-life human being, for which I call myself the Story Man. Let us begin, shall we? On the edge of a quiet coastal town lived a mechanic named Daniel. He wasn't famous, rich, or an astronaut. He simply loved fixing old cars that everyone else had given up on. That's called a mechanic, salvaging things. Can you imagine how beautiful it is? His favorite project was a faded red convertible from the 1960s. The paint was chipped, the seats were cracked, and the engine coughed whenever it started. Oh boy. Man, that's a clunker. Still, Daniel believed every machine deserved another chance. That'll take years to repair it, and I'm afraid it just says it is. For years, he repaired the car piece by piece. But he also had another hobby, building unusual inventions. His garage was filled with homemade telescopes, experimental batteries, and notebooks filled with sketches of impossible ideas. Wow! That guy, even though he's a mechanic, building something like that is like an engineer. That is impressive right there. Not bad. One evening, while watching a meteor shower, inspiration struck! And he said this, "What if," Daniel whispered, "a car didn't need roads?" Ooh, now that's something. He spent the next 5 years designing an engine unlike anything any ever built. Instead of burning gasoline alone, it captured tiny particles from Earth's magnetic field and converted them into bursts of powerful plasma. I imagine that we could have something like that. I wonder why we haven't applied that yet in this time. I guess we're too busy killing each other to care about that kind of stuff. We're just busy waging war. Along with this, he created a protective energy shield that could survive tremendous heat and pressure. Most people laughed when he explained his dream. A convertible? In space? Daniel just smiled. And he said this, "The stars won't care what kind of car arrives. Indeed, they don't care. They just want to see something fly. We made spaceships, so I don't think a space car would be too far off. I can imagine how cool that would be. A car flying in space, like, oh, we're driving in space. I wonder what kind of be. We see that in so many comic books. We always imagine they could be in space. We made space rockets. Why can't we make space cars? How is that not impossible?" Finally, the day came to test his invention. He drove the convertible to an abandoned airfield before sunrise. Cameras recorded every moment as curious spectators gathered behind safety barriers. Daniel started the engine. The familiar rumble slowly transformed into a deep humming vibration. Blue light shimmered beneath the car. Dust swirled in circles. The convertible rose gently off the ground. Gas spread through the crowd. 10 meters. 50. 100. Wow, the car was floating like a hover car. Then with a bright, brilliant flash, the car shot upward like a streak of sapphire lightning. Wow, that sounds kind of nice. Sapphire lightning, that's a pretty good one. Higher and higher it climbed through the clouds. At first came rain, then ice, then the thin air went where ordinary engines would fail. But Daniel's plasma drive always glowed brighter. I wonder if we can make something like that, the plasma drive. I can imagine how interesting it is to make such kind of things. I wonder we're just too busy killing each other to care about it. And all the war and corruption, I think this is going to take a while for that to come true. The energy shield wrapped around the convertible like a transparent bubble, protecting both the driver and the vehicle as they raced beyond Earth's atmosphere. Man, how cool that is. Imagine we had something like that, no longer bound by comic books or fan fiction. We get something like that for real. Not in imagination, but in reality. But that's gonna take a while though. A long, heavy while. Suddenly, silence. No music, no anything, just calm. He was in space. It was just quiet. Pure quiet. The engines softened into a gentle whisper. Daniel looked around. He looked at sea of beautiful stars. There was no roof beneath him anymore. Only endless darkness decorated with billions of stars. Below, Earth floated like a giant blue marble wrapped in white clouds. Yeah. Wow. Not because he had conquered space, but because he had proven that curiosity could travel farther than anyone expected. Now that is true. Thanks to our curiosity, we had achieved many things, but unfortunately that curiosity is getting snuffed too much by corruption and poverty and war. We carefully steered toward the moon, leaving behind a glowing trail that astronomers later nicknamed the Ribbon of Dawn. Okay, now that is actually a pretty awesome name, the Ribbon of Dawn. Now that is awesome. Along the journey, he encountered tiny meteoroids sparkling like diamonds. Watched satellites silently above orbit Earth. Silently orbit Earth, indeed. To see that is a sight. Unfortunately, we have so many satellites, it became space trash. We have committed space pollution. We can't create plasma cars or flying cars in space or energy weapons, yet we invented space trash. And we introduced space pollution. That is something. And even passed through a colorful cloud of charged particles dancing around the planet's magnetic field. Hours later, after collecting valuable scientific data, Daniel turned the car like this and looked back to turn back home. The plasma engine slowed. The shield glowed orange as it protected the convertible during re-entry. Clouds rushed past. The wheels unfolded. With a gentle bump, the convertible landed on the same airfield where it had taken off. The crowd, with their eyes like this, stood speechless. He did it. Then applause erupted across the runway. Imagine this, but times 100. I can only do this once. Sorry. Scientists examined the mysterious engine for years, hoping to understand how it worked. Children built toy versions of Daniel's convertible, pretending to drive among the planets. Engineers around the world found inspiration in his bold imagination. I imagine how beautiful that is. That's the one thing. When we thought the Wright brothers were wrong, we can fly, but they did. Oh boy, they proved them wrong. They're forever in history. And they're the ones, they are, like in their namesake, right. They had proved them, the Wright brothers indeed. I can imagine that's how he felt. He was like the Wright brothers when he just created flying with the most unorthodox method that they have ever seen. He had proved them wrong. And he had flown. I can imagine something like that. Huh. Can you imagine that? There'll be something like that in that era. But that's going to be a while though. I can imagine how beautiful it would be to create something like that. Something that like Daniel created, something like the Wright brothers created. I guess that'll never come to pass. For now, all we can do now, let's see if I can finish the story. Daniel never claimed to have built the fastest car. He simply built the first one that believes the sky wasn't the limit. Indeed. That's what we said about going into space. We created rockets for that, and we proved the sky wasn't truly the limit. I can imagine, though, if we could build like a car that could fly like that. I guess we'll never know. And every night, when people saw a faint blue streak crossing the stars, they smiled and remembered the little red convertible that had found a road where no roads existed. I can imagine how he is laughing right now, knowing he had found a way to create something like that. And that's the story of the Cosmic Convertible. And thank you for watching my video. This is the the Story Man, signing out. Oh boy, it's so hot. Man, the heat is really unbearable today. It's supposed to be rainy season and it's so hot. Global warming and climate change really changed our weather. So thank you again for watching my video again. So remember folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Remember, hit that like button down there, down in the video, to like this video. Subscribe to my channel to get daily updates by me by clicking the bell down there to get updates from me and videos and uploads. Comment down the comment section below down there on what kind of story you want me to make, and I will make it. Any story you make, any story you want me to make, I will make it. Give me any genre, I will make it with Chat GPT and give it as much life as I can with my acting, voice acting, dramatic flair, and my facial expressions. If you do all that, this stuff will reach at the end with a thumbs up. Remember, like, comment, subscribe equals a thumbs up from me to you. Remember, the story may be made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were all done by a real human being, which I call myself the Story Man. Remember that, okay? Thank you and goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Bye.